Hello friends and happy Monday. This is very impromptu. I gave you no notice, so I apologize for that. And I appreciate that I have not been live on here in way too long. It's summer, things get a little bit busy, and that is not a good excuse. But also, I have been working on some stuff that I can't share yet because I am doing it for team meeting, and so I need to profile those projects there first. Oh my gosh, do you guys, the Facebook is new now and it's weird to get to your page. So there we go. Okay, I finally have it up. Okay, so Ange McKay, who I am doing this stamp camp with, North Shore Stamper, Joyful Flurry, we're doing this stamp camp together. She was going live tonight and she was doing this funky little sketch from Mojo Monday Sketches. And I was like, hey, that looks fun. So I thought I would do it as well. So we're gonna do this sketch and play with this bundle and play with these papers because this is what we would be doing for Stamp Camp. We are using these papers, this bundle, holiday pearls, and yeah, it's gonna be fabulous. So we're gonna give it a whirl. So we're gonna play around and hopefully we're gonna come up with something beautiful. So we would have a normal card base. And then this next layer is 3 3/4 by 5. So 3 3/4 by 5. I love this pattern in this paper. So this paper has 4 color schemes to it: green, black, vanilla, and the red. So sorry, I'm just gonna pull it out here, making sure my Stamp Camp cards are well hidden. So yeah, so you can see I was working with this gold glimmer paper, and then we've got black, and see this pattern also in the black and gold, evening evergreen, and soft succulent. And then very vanilla, and more evening evergreen and soft succulent, and then this cherry cobbler. So beautiful, beautiful papers. And at first when I saw this pack of paper, I was like, ooh, those papers are dark. But when I got them, I was like, oh my God, those papers are stunning. And I'm so glad that we are using them. Sorry, as usual, I misplaced all the things on my desk because I wanted to tell you what the papers were called. Here we are. The papers are called Lights Aglow. Basic black, cherry cobbler, evening evergreen, soft succulent, and very vanilla. So, okay. Oh my God, nightmare. All right, so here's our first layer. And we're gonna need a card base. I just haven't decided if we're gonna do a cherry cobbler card base or vanilla. I will get cherry cobbler out to start with just so we have a card base. Also because I have a piece of cardstock ready to go from something else. Or maybe I don't, that seems really big. Should be 4 1/4. Well, I guess so, 3 3/4 by 5. Maybe it's just over to one side. Or my drawing just wasn't very good. That's probably more like it. Okay. Rambling on as I do. Hopefully someone will pop on here. So that is our first layer, 3 3/4 by 5. And then we want a couple of strips. So I'm just trying to decide, this might be a nice strip. I kind of wanted to use this circle because the sketch has a circle in it. So I was wondering about our stylish shapes. We might just use a regular circle though, because I don't know if we need it to be stitched. So let's just look at our layering circles. I won't be following the guidelines properly by doing this because it called for a certain dimension, a 1.875 circle. That doesn't seem very big. Let's see what we've got here. So this, I'm just worried this is going to cut off our snowflake. This would be better. That seems really big though, doesn't it? So that is like a 2 1/4, which is definitely bigger than 1 7/8. But kind of like the idea of doing that. Okay, I might just, I think I'm going to use this and then I can kind of go around it if I need to by hand. So let's bring this over. Cut it out and go from there. Okay, there we go. So I used our layering circle, so I kind of cheated. Put that back. So our sketch is not going to be quite the same, but that's okay. We're loosely based on this sketch. So we're gonna have the circle, and then we can either stamp and emboss. We could stamp, I feel like I haven't actually used this one yet. This Joyful Wishes. I've used most of these stamps already. So let's get this one out. I thought I would be so organized here by doing this sketch, but you know, clearly I'm not. Par for the course. Anyway, Joyful Flurry. So this stamp camp, you guys, it is September, the weekend of September the 10th and 11th. So you purchase the bundle, you purchase this DSP, and you purchase the pearls, the holiday pearls. And then like all of our other stamp camps, you get all the make and takes. So there are 6 of us this time. So you're getting 12 make and takes. But it's going to be fabulous as always. So what I am going to do, I'm also, I think, going to, that guy's a bit big. I'm just trying to think if I like subtly stamp that snowflake. Maybe this one. Okay. We're going to do some stamping though, because we need a couple of strips. And so let's stamp some snowflakes down at one of the strips. I think that would look pretty. We're going to do this one. So our strip is meant to be 1 by 4.5. So we will the tricky thing about working with reds is you can't really pull a lighter colored red in. We don't have a lighter color red, right? Whereas you could do dark greens and light greens and it's easy to mix in different color palettes. But it is a little trickier to do with the red. So we're either going to have to stamp on cobbler or stamp on vanilla, or pull in like a crumb cake or a gray or something that is just sort of subtle. So let's see what happens if we pull in some crumb cake. Let's give it a whirl. Let's give it a whirl. So this is supposed to be 1 by 4.5. 1 by 4.5. We're gonna have this. We are going to have another one that is 3/4 by 4. So 3/4. By, I don't think this is 4. Not quite. That's okay. So we'll have that. We will have this one. We're gonna have this. Actually, don't know if I like that crumb cake, so we're probably not gonna use that in the end. So let's get a strip of vanilla. And this was supposed to be 4.5. So we're gonna do 1 by 4.5 by 4.5. Okay, get rid of that. We're gonna bring this in. We're gonna stamp on this in cherry cobbler. You can see how beautiful this stamp is though, right? Really pretty. Very pretty. And I think, so we're gonna do this. We are going to do this. Then we're gonna bring this in. I think we're also going to, I'm gonna do another layer around that because I feel like it needs a bit more vanilla. And then we're supposed to have another layer that is 2.25 by 3. So we could add in this, or we could add in this one. So I'm trying to think. It's supposed to be another layer out front like this. Or we could do some more stamping. Don't you love it when I don't really know what I'm doing and I'm just kind of winging it, because that is, you know what? Dun, dun, dun. This also comes with this amazing, yes, here we are, glimmer paper. So I forgot, we've got this very vanilla glimmer paper. I mean, it doesn't come with it, but we are using it in the stamp camp. So I don't want to, obviously, that would be like a crazy amount of glimmer paper, but do that. And then I feel like we got to lose that. If I'm going to stick with all this pattern paper, but then we're not really stamping. So then I feel like I'm ripping you guys off because we're not doing any stamping with this beautiful set in the end. So I think we are going to, maybe we will stamp on this instead. So bear with me, folks, bear with me. So this piece is meant to be 2 1/4 by 3. I know, hot mess, hot mess. Oh, that's exactly 2 1/4, perfect, by 3. We are going to stamp on this using I think we're going to use the same snowflake because it's so pretty. Maybe not. Get another block here. We are still going to do it in cherry cobbler. Okay, so we're gonna have this. We are going to have this. We need one more piece in there. So I'm just looking for another cherry piece. Because I might actually do this instead. Or do we have that? Maybe too much going on. Okay. So this is going to be our 1 by 4 1/2. I was like, oh, I'll just do this sketch. It'll be so easy. Clearly, not easy. This is 3/4 by 4. So we're gonna do that down to 3/4. By 4. Oh, I'm gonna do out the other end because it has less on it. Okay. Okay. We're getting there, folks. We're getting there. So we're gonna do this. Yes, liking this much better. Okay. Then this. And then we have our circle, which is going to come in here like this. And then we are also meant to have, so then where did that other little piece go? This piece is going to be 1/2 inch by 2 inches. Well, I don't think the length of it matters. We can do whatever we like. We're going to banner this. My new trick for this, so I'm not very good at finding center. So I'm just going to show you what, so this is a 1/2. So on the side that I'm not going to use, I have been actually just drawing a mark. And then I cut. I think my one banner punch would actually work because it's good for 1/2. But if you're wondering how to sort of banner your papers, you find the halfway, you cut up to that from each corner. And then that would give you an even little banner. But I was having trouble actually getting the halfway mark. So this is my cheat to draw that line on the back side. Okay, there we go. I feel like that should actually be vanilla. So we might do that in this glimmer paper, or maybe this paper. You guys, nobody's talking, but that's okay. So now I am going to use the punch. Right, we have this banner punch, so it's going to fit perfectly in the middle. Just make sure you look to make sure it is even on this side. And then I'm going to cut that because we don't need all that. Hello, Barb. So that guy's going to go in there like that. It's a hot mess, you guys. It's a hot mess. But I like what we've got going on there so far. We're going to stamp here, and we're going to do that in gold. You like it. Yay, thanks. When you watch back, if you've tuned in late, you're going to be like, wow, she was all over the place. So we are going to do a bit more there. Let's get rid of this stuff we're not using. We're not using that crumb cake. That piece doesn't count anymore. Scraps, scraps. I would never throw away a scrap like this because look at that's so pretty, right? We're going to get our gold embossing powder. Which I was just using. Oh, here it is. And our Versamark. I need a new Ziploc. I don't have my gold actually in a Ziploc, so I need to do that. so that I'm not wasting it. So right now I'm going to use this. And then, yeah, creativity, all about chaos. Okay. Versamark, we are going to line it up there. We're going to pour some embossing powder. We're going to come over here. We are going to dump it off. Give it a flick. Okay. Get rid of this so we don't get gold everywhere. And so we definitely don't want to get it in our Versamark. Bring out our heat gun. Oh, my extension cord is not quite long enough. Or I should say it's caught on something. Okay, there we go. I should have used my embossing buddy. So I don't know if you guys have noticed, for those of you who don't already have one, Stampin' Up brought it back. So I'm just gonna find it here. It's not on the back. So they brought back the embossing buddy and the little tray and the tweezers. It's a whole little awesome embossing set. Yeah, so see the embossing, so it's the embossing buddy, the little tray, a paintbrush, and the tweezers. So it's wicked. If you don't have an embossing buddy, they got rid of them, and see, they brought it back. So you can get all this set here, the Embossing Additions Toolkit, for $49. I don't need this. I would like this. I also don't need these, but I'm tempted to buy it just because. Okay. So we've got this. Now, there's still supposed to be another larger piece of paper. So going back to this original sketch, if you're joining in, so it was like a layer, 3 layers. So I've got the 3 layers, the circle and the banner. What I no longer have is this bigger layer, which is supposed to be 3 3/4 by 5. And I had a piece of DSP and I felt like it was just too busy. So I think what we should do is just another piece of cherry cobbler and either stamp more snowflakes or emboss. So, let's get some cardstock. It's going to be cherry cobbler, like I said. So we need it to be 3 3/4 by 5. Let's see if I have a piece that's that big or if we have to cut a whole new one. I think we have to cut a whole new one. So let's cut a new one. So yeah, I came on here A, because I haven't been on forever, B, to do this sketch, and C, to use this bundle of products so you would be excited and be like, hey, I need to get signed up for that stamp camp. So I'm not sure if that's really effectively what I have done here today, but that was my plan. Okay, we're going to bring this out. We are going to stamp, I think we're going to stamp and emboss. So now we are going to, or maybe we're just going to use this cute little snowflakey guy. Okay, we're gonna do a little of this, a little of that. So I'm actually going to, this is another thing you can do. You can stamp in Versamark on your colored cardstock, and it won't be as dark as stamping in cherry cobbler. So I'm just going to kind of create a bit of interest here with these dots. And it's really more this side that we need to kind of create because the rest is going to be covered. But I'm just going to kind of do dots down through the center in the Versamark. I don't feel like people use the Versamark this way very often anymore. They use it to emboss with, but not so much to stamp. I used to use Versamark all the time when I didn't have very many stamp pads because it's a great way of pretending you have cherry cobbler when you don't. So there, we've done these dots across in Versamark. And now what I'm going to do is take the tiny little snowflake and stamp him. So I just want to see what happens if we stamp, just curious, I'm going to stamp on this little guy, or I'll just stamp on the back. So I'm going to stamp 1, 2, and see the difference. I don't feel like I'm giving you guys very good lighting tonight. So you can see how dark the cherry cobbler is. So I'm gonna do a couple of both. So I'm gonna do like a snowflake, and then I'm gonna do another one. So we're just kind of playing, or I'm just playing with adding a little bit of interest to this piece of paper that I'm going to stick behind. I'm not going to do too much over here. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it like that for now. And now I'm going to emboss it. So we need something kind of subtle. Oh, you know what would have actually been pretty had I thought about it, is we have this really pretty Wintry 3D embossing folder. That might have been really pretty. Which we could, oh, no, I stamped on that. Oh, yeah, that'll cover up. Okay, let's do it. Changed my mind, folks. Changed my mind. Again, I can do that. This is my project. Although I should probably do it this way. This is what I love. So we can combine like things from last year, things we loved last year, with things we love this year. I like to use this black line. It just makes sure I'm straight. Okay, this could go through my mini, but you know, I'm not gonna pull my mini out right now because my table is already so small you will never see what I'm doing. So I'm putting it through the Big Shot or the Stampin' Emboss. Okay, there we go. That doesn't matter. Like I said, you're not gonna see that. Okay, so this is the Wintry 3D embossing folder, which I believe is in the annual catalog. If not, it just came back in the mini. But I think it's in the annual. Maybe someone can tell me. Okay, let's put this together. So I'm going to pull these pieces off. Comme ça. I'm going to put this on here. I'm actually going to put everything on this because then I'm going to put this piece on in dimensionals. So let's get our pieces together. So We're gonna do this guy first. So he is gonna go over here. And then this one, you can see that this is how good our cardstock is, people. I had stamped all over the back of this with an idea that did not work. Then this one. And then this one. And then our circle and our banner, gonna go like that. The circle I'm gonna pop up. So the banner I'm going to glue down. I appreciate and thank you for sticking with me because I actually think this is gonna be really pretty now that we're finished. When I use dark colored cardstock, I like to use my black dimensionals, even if the paper is not black. That's just my personal preference. I find it still, even though it's not black, doesn't show as much. So then we're going to put this here. Okay. And then we are going to pop this whole layer up. Okay. I actually think I'm really gonna like this. And so I really appreciate all of you who stuck it out or who joined in late and stayed on and didn't decide that I was a total, I know, I go overboard a little bit when I do it this way, but I used to be really chintzy with dimensionals, so now I'm less chintzy. So hopefully, I saw someone, another demo, take these off with her, take a pic. She was so fast. It was crazy. Voila. Oh, you guys, it's pretty. Okay, let's move everything out of the way. So that is our finished product. So, you know, we came at it in a roundabout way. We did a lot of playing around, and but there we have it. So Joyful Flurry, we used that bundle. We used the DSP from Lights That Glow, which is what we're using in Stamp Camp. We stamped on cardstock. We stamped on DSP. We stamped on cardstock. We stamped and embossed on this cardstock or this DSP here. We used that embossing folder, and I think we have a really pretty cobbler and vanilla and gold Christmas card. I think it needs some pearls, so let's just hold the phone here. So these are the embellishments we're using. Red and green adhesive back pearls. I didn't realize that was what they were called. So we've got gold, silver, green, and cobbler. I think we want to put some gold on here. Need a little bling. All right, now we got a little bit of bling there. Okay, thank you guys. I will post the actual card, and all the details for the Stamp Camp are on my page. Sorry, I'm always picky. I'm very picky about where that third embellishment goes. Okay, done. So have a good Monday. I will post this. I feel like this video went on forever, so my apologies for that. And thank you for hanging around.